The sky trembled, the earth cracked. Two giants taller than mountains laughed as they stacked Pelion upon Ossa, reaching for Olympus itself.
"The gods have ruled for too long," Ephialtes roared. "Olympus will fall."
Their laughter echoed through the heavens. But high above, Zeus watched, his thunderbolt crackling in his grasp.
And then, a blinding light tore through the sky. Apollo had arrived. The hunt had begun. Welcome to our channel, where we bring the legends of ancient Greece to life. Today, we witness the battle of the gods against the towering giants who dared to defy Olympus. If you love mythology, epic battles, and the wisdom of the ancient gods, consider subscribing. Your support helps us continue telling these legendary stories. The skies of Olympus blazed in the golden hues of sunset, but beneath its divine splendor, a terrifying prophecy echoed from the depths of Pythia's cave. In a trance, her voice trembled, her white eyes reflecting the ominous glow of fate. The sons of Alois will rise higher than the gods. They will stack mountains to the sky, break Zeus's power, and seize Olympus's goddesses. These words reached the peak of Olympus, where Zeus sat deep in thought on his golden throne, his gaze piercing the mortal realm. Around him, the gods whispered in unease. Hera clenched her fists, Artemis gripped her silver bow, while Ares' teeth ground in fury, his eyes burning with rage. In the land of Thessaly, two giant children were born, Ephialtes and Otos. From an early age, they displayed extraordinary strength. They could lift enormous boulders, topple mighty bulls, and cross entire forests in mere strides. Yet, it was their ambition that made them truly dangerous. One day, standing on a high cliff, Ephialtes stretched his hands to the sky, his voice filled with defiance. "Why should we bow to Zeus? He is nothing more than a usurper." Otos, beside him, swung his massive spear, his eyes glowing with ambition. "Olympus will be ours, Artemis shall be my wife, and you, Ephialtes, may claim Hera." Their laughter echoed through the mountains, sending shivers even through the divine halls of Olympus. But Zeus had seen everything. 10 years passed, and Ephialtes and Otos had grown into towering giants, as tall as moving mountains. Their strength surpassed all mortal beings, and the day Olympus had feared finally arrived. From the peak of Mount Ossa, Ephialtes roared like thunder, lifting a massive boulder high above his head. His voice drowned the sky in a deafening call. "The gods have ruled for too long. Today, Olympus will fall." Beside him, Otos swung his massive spear, making the heavens tremble. "Bow down or be crushed." With every step they took, the ground shook. Wild beasts fled in terror. Trees crumbled to ash beneath their feet. They began stacking mountains upon mountains, placing Ossa upon Olympus, then Pelion on top, forging a path to the heavens. On Olympus, for the first time, Zeus's throne was under threat. Hera turned pale, Poseidon clenched his trident, while Ares charged into battle roaring, "Let me crush them!" But Zeus remained calm. He raised his gaze to the sky, where the sun was slowly sinking behind thick clouds. His voice rang with authority. "Apollo, it is time." A blinding light tore through the heavens. Apollo, the god of light, descended from the celestial realms, his golden armor radiating brilliance, his eyes cold as steel. In his hands, his silver bow was lifted high, reflecting the burning flames of the sun. The hunt has begun. The battle erupted on the plains of Thessaly. Ephialtes swung his arm, hurling an entire mountain at Apollo, but the god of light swiftly leaped into the air, somersaulting across the sky. His silver bow shone brightly, releasing arrows of light that pierced through the ranks of the giant army. But Ephialtes did not waver. He caught one of the arrows and snapped it effortlessly in his hand. "You think light can kill me, god of light?" Apollo did not reply. Another golden arrow had already been fired, this time piercing Ephialtes' left eye, causing him to scream in agony. Meanwhile, Artemis faced Otos. She moved like a ghost across the battlefield, a swift and untouchable white blur. But Otos was strong. Each of his blows could bring down mountains. Yet Artemis did not rely on strength. She transformed into a white deer dashing between Ephialtes and Otos, her eyes gleaming with cunning intent. In their rage, Ephialtes and Otos hurled their spears at Artemis at the same time, but just before impact, she vanished. The spears, flying like thunderbolts, pierced through each other's chests. Ephialtes and Otos stood still, their eyes filled with confusion. Blood gushed from their mouths, their life force fading away.
"No, impossible," Ephialtes whispered. Otos tried to speak, but only weak breaths remained. Then they fell, their collapse shaking the heavens. On the peak of Olympus, Zeus watched from afar, his deep eyes seeming to pierce through time itself. No one can overthrow Olympus. From the shadows, Hades, ruler of the underworld, stepped forward. He raised his hand and the ground split open. The souls of Ephialtes and Otos, bound in the coils of giant serpents, were dragged into the abyss. They will be chained forever, swallowed by darkness, and never see the light again. The sky returned to tranquility. Apollo stood on the battlefield, lowering his silver bow. Artemis approached him, her expression serene. "Another day protecting Olympus," Apollo said, a faint smile playing on his lips. "And a lesson for those who dare challenge the gods," Artemis replied, her eyes gleaming under the twilight sky. The son of Apollo shone brilliantly, heralding a new day. Olympus stood firm and would remain forever unshakable. Thank you for joining us in this epic tale of the gods and giants. Olympus stands victorious once more, but the legends of ancient Greece never end. If you enjoyed this story and want to explore more mythical battles, gods and heroes, don't forget to subscribe and join our mythology-loving community.